Alright, this is Reginald McKenzie. You are now here with the beautiful Taylor Evans of Baltimore. You was born here in Baltimore, right?
Yes.
What part?
East Baltimore, Better Waverly is the neighborhood off of Greenmount Avenue and Lock Raven.
What is the difference between East Baltimore and West Baltimore, and like the differences in North Baltimore and South Baltimore? Like, how do they differ?
Well, I live in Northeast Baltimore, which, I mean, it's not too much of big differences between East and West, but the West, you can tell the difference once you cross the line. It seems like it's a lot less people on the West Side, even though it's bigger. It seems like there's boarded up houses everywhere in Baltimore, but it seems like it's a lot more on the West Side. It also seems like the East Side is cleaner. There's differences, but it's like you have to see the differences rather than just saying that. South Baltimore is where the downtown inner harbor is, but you also have, I don't know, Baltimore is Baltimore. Unless you go into the county, then it's different.
What made you come so close for school?
Honestly, the reason I went to Morgan is because I was very lazy. And they came to our school and they were doing like admissions there, so like if you did a good interview you got in. So I was like, oh, alright. So I did that and I didn't have to like fill out an application. Well, I did, but it was just very easy. So they let me in. So I was like, I'm not going to apply for any other school, so I'm going to just go there. I always said I wasn't going to go to Morgan though, which is weird.
Growing up, you always said you didn't want to go to Morgan?
Because people in Baltimore, it seems like they look down on Morgan. Like when I was growing up, they always said Morgan was the 13th grade, but
what does that mean?
Like it's easy and it's not challenging and it's not like other colleges. But that was Baltimore people. Like I think other people outside of Baltimore look higher on Morgan.
What do you do here at Morgan?
Well, I'm majoring in I think it's integrated media production. I just changed it the other day, so but I just go to class. Really, I don't really do too much at Morgan. But on my spare time, away from Morgan, I direct videos and I shoot them and I edit them, mainly music videos.
Did your experiences growing up shape what you're doing right now?
Yeah, in 8th grade, when I was in, I went to Roland Park Middle School. Me and my cousin, who was really just my best friend, we used to like do little skits and like I used to do funny videos a lot, and so that's where it started from. And then I would edit them. I would film them on like the little $50 cameras that they used to have back in the day. And then I would edit them, and then I got to high school, and I started doing like funny videos by myself and with my other friends, and then it just kind of expanded from there.
Was it hard for you growing up in Baltimore?
Okay.
With a T?
When you say, with a what?
With a T. Baltimore with a T.
With a D.
With a T.
Basically, the neighborhood that I grew up in, that I still live in, I've lived in the same house my whole life, was often, and I'm the only person in my whole family from Baltimore, including cousins and everything. Everybody else is from started in PG and then DC and the South, basically.
Yeah.
So, my parents, well, my mother, she was this country girl, this military child who was always, I guess she always lived in like she graduated high school in Hawaii. My father, he's this protective dude who doesn't really trust anybody. So like put it together, it's like they didn't let me, I wasn't allowed to go out of my gate. I wasn't allowed to go and play with the neighborhood kids. I wasn't allowed to, I had to beg my mother to let me catch the bus to school when I was in 7th grade. Like I had to really beg her, and she would drop me off at the bus stop far away from the neighborhood. And then finally 8th grade she got more lenient. I could start catching the bus home. But I mean it was just compared to like the people in my neighborhood, I didn't experience the same things that a lot of people in my neighborhood experienced. So I always thought it was because my parents thought I was gonna get kidnapped, which is kind of unreal in the kind of neighborhood I live in. But it was, I guess, because there's a lot of crime in Baltimore and itself. Where I live at, because I love my neighborhood, I try not to put it down. But if like a tourist came, they would say it was a bad neighborhood, and you probably would too. But whatever. I couldn't be a neighborhood kid. I couldn't get that experience of going outside and playing with everybody or meeting the people in my neighborhood. Um, it wasn't until high school when I was more free, I guess. I could like meet people outside of my game.
Do you consider Baltimore to be part of the DMV?
Okay, technically because it's DC, Maryland, and Virginia, then yeah, but I would never be like, hey, DMV. I've never repped that at all, and I don't know anybody who does.
What do you think has to happen for Baltimore to change?
I mean, I honestly feel like it's sad because if I follow Baltimore City Police on Twitter, and if you go on there, every single picture is a black male. You'll come across a white person every maybe 10th person, not even that. You'll come across maybe 3 white people. You feel me? They put pictures of people who they arrested for like gun violence or something, and every single one is a black male, and that makes me so mad. But it's like, what can you do to make Baltimore a safer place? And I mean, I really don't know. I just think that it's ignorance. People, I really don't know. Like, because that's not even in my mindset to hurt somebody or to rob somebody or anything. It's people money hungry here. I don't even think it's only here. It's really like most of the crimes that happen is because somebody was hitting licks, which means somebody was robbing people, and it's just being money hungry, or it's, money is the root of all evil. And then being in like the neighborhood I live in, I guess it's a middle class neighborhood, but there's a lot of Section 8 housing, and there's a lot of people on drugs or alcoholics like roaming the streets, and then you have the people who just want to start trouble. And it's, I mean, being in like like being around, you kind of become your neighborhood if you're around it too long, and not only being around it too long, if you like really in it. So I really don't know. I don't know how we could change. It's just how society is. It's how the government's set up.
Okay, last question. Do you plan on staying here for the rest of your life?
I definitely do not plan on. If I could leave right now, I would. Like I love Baltimore. Don't get me wrong. You're like a college student, or like in your 20s or 30s, don't have any kids. I would like. It's a great place to be, but it's a lot. It's a very artsy place in Tyrone, and it's very like it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to see, and it's like the middle of country and the city, so it's a good mix. But I don't want to stay here because I've been here for 20 years, and it's after a while everything is boring, and then it's the same people and it's the same opportunities, and it's just getting to know everybody. That's what I think.
Okay, thank you. This was Mr. DJ, Reginald McKenzie, and Taylor Evans. Say bye.
Bye.